Fish jumping over there.
It's difficult to tell how large these eagles are when you're seeing them in their natural habitat here from a boat, but if this eagle were to be sitting next to you, it's about the size of an adult torso from head to tail, about 3 feet.
In the wintertime, when these fish are in short supply, the eagles will feed on waterfowl, seagulls, small mammals, clams, sea urchins, crabs, and roadkill. Because it has claimed
beautiful home on the north side of this little island. Yeah, it's so much easier to spot them when they're silhouetted behind the greenery. You can see that white head pop so easily.
the clan house typically would be 30 or 40 feet wide and up to 55 or 60 feet in length. It would be home to as many as 50 or more natives at one time.
Hey, we're on a boat. We're in Ketchikan, and we decided to do an excursion. It's an eagle and totem poles and a lighthouse. So we've seen a bunch of eagles, and we just saw some totem poles, and I think we're going to the lighthouse. But beautiful day. This is a good idea. This excursion was. So yeah, let's keep going.
Shoreline to the right of us here. This was the first lighthouse lit in the state of Alaska. So it really does have a pretty special piece of our Alaskan history.
We'll rant and we'll roar like true British sailors. We'll rant and we'll roar all on the salt seas until we strike soundings from the channel of Old England. From Ushant to Scilly is 35 leagues. Yeah! I'm exhausted. Thank you. Thank you. That's how we do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, beverage service has now been suspended. Please be advised that photo and video are not
find those further out on this road. Be really at the end of this road.
It's moving day, moving day. Rip the carpet right off the floor. Pack your folding bed and hit the door. It's moving day. Pack your bikinis and get away. If you can't pay the rent, you can never let a 10, cause it's moving day. It's moving day, partner. Moving day. Rip the carpet.
Alright, it is day 4 of the cruise, so let me fill you in on what's been going on. So yesterday woke up and we were in Ketchikan, which is our first port of call. So we had an excursion set for 7:30 in the morning, now 7:45. So we had to be at the meeting point at 7:20, which means I had to wake up around 6, which sucked. So I got maybe 6 hours of sleep. But the excursion was cool. It was called like Eagles, Totem, and Lighthouse, and it's exactly what it sounded like. We took a little boat that was really nice, kind of through these islands, and saw a bunch of bald eagles. They had binoculars on board, and got to see these totem poles, which I think were in some sort of national park area, but it is a authentic, real collection of totem poles from this that meant to be seen from the water, which is really neat. And then saw a pretty cool lighthouse. That was well worth doing. And I would recommend that one. So came back and got back in the ship. For some reason, again, we'd be back pretty early from that excursion. I think everyone had to be back on the boat by 2 or 2:30. And it was relatively warm and not windy, so we decided to go on the water slides on the boat. There's one where you take a tube and you go down. It's pretty low-key, but it's fun. And there's one of those ones where you stand there and they drop you. I did that twice, so there's no countdown. They just drop you, so you don't really have time to like hold your breath and wait for it. So halfway through the slide, I'm like sucking in air, and it's just all this mist and water, and you know, I like thrill rides, but drowning is not actually my idea of a good time. So I did it twice, and that was enough for me. I actually saw someone get stuck on the slides. They drop you down and they shoot you out and over the side of the ship in this clear plastic part, and you kind of have to go up. And if you don't clear the up part, you just kind of sink back down into the bottom of the clear part that's overhanging the side of the ship. And then you got to crawl your way over to this hatch to get them to let you out, which didn't look like a lot of fun, especially if you're claustrophobic or afraid of heights. But anyway. So I did the slides. That was enough for me. So then last night we saw Footloose, one of the musicals here on the ship. It was good. It was about like college level, university level production. It wasn't like, not community theater level, not Broadway level, kind of in between. But it was entertaining. And then we saw the second night of the Beatles tribute band. This night they were doing Sgt. Pepper's era, Magical Mystery Tour era, and that was great. And then I was just totally wiped out. Woke up this morning and we were in Juneau, Juneau, Alaska, capital of Alaska, And again, they let us out at 7, and we had to be back to the ship by 1. So really short amount of time in port. But we did manage to make it to town and get a bus over to the Mendenhall Glacier, which was pretty amazing. Definitely recommend that. I saw some bears and saw the glacier, of course. And it was only like 20 minutes to get out there, 20 minutes to get back. Also went to the Dog Saloon. My mother had gone on an Alaskan cruise for her honeymoon 25 years ago and picked this shirt up for me. So this shirt is 25 years old. So I finally got to go for myself, and it was actually cooler than I expected. It was a much better theme than I expected, and I picked up a new shirt, so, which is good. And now, back on the ship, and we're about ready to pull away from Juneau, and we're going to navigate over to the Dawes Glacier, which is one of the few active glaciers around here. So most of them are receding, they're going backwards. This one's advancing, it's still growing, which means that the ice will kind of be shaving off the side of it. I think they call it shelving. And I don't know how close the boat's going to get, but I'll be sitting on my balcony watching it. I think we're going to do a 3-point turn type of thing. So that's the kind of thing I've been looking forward to the most for this whole trip, is just seeing a massive active glacier up close. Anyway, yeah, so it's been a whirlwind of a trip. I'm going to need a vacation from my vacation probably, because we keep getting up early and staying up late, but don't want to miss out on any of the excitement. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow or the next day to fill you in on what's been going on since then. Leonard Kinsey out.